Key metrics: on time, on set, on track. Call time adherence, turnaround speed, and change impact. The O3 performance set ever watched a day slip by 10 minutes? And then another 20. And then suddenly you're catching up for hours? The crew doesn't care that the call sheet looked fine at wrap yesterday. They care about what time people show up, how fast you clear roadblocks after a decision, and whether every change makes the next hour harder. Key insight: track 3 numbers together: call time adherence, turnaround speed, and change impact, so you don't just know that you're behind. You learn exactly what kind of behind you are. In reality competition, the pressure hits fast: quick resets, frequent talent moves, and creative decisions that land like a weather change. Grace, your reality coordinator, has the same problem most coordinators run into. She can feel the chaos, but she can't prove where it starts. The O3 performance set gives you a daily way to measure what matters, then tighten the workflow. The O3 performance set for daily coordination metrics: you don't need a spreadsheet the size of a feature film. You need 3 metrics you can collect with the tools you already use, and you need to review them at the same moment every day so patterns show up. Number 1. Call time adherence reveals show up reality. Call time adherence measures whether the people you scheduled actually start work when you said they would. In plain terms, did the crew and talent arrive and roll into the day at the time on the call sheet, or within your agreed tolerance? Why this matters: if call time slips, everything after it gets dragged. Even if your paperwork runs perfectly, late starts force faster takes, shorter breaks, and more overtime. You don't fix that by booking more time. You fix it by identifying which group slips: talent, department heads, drivers, HMU, craft services, location access, and by tightening the handoffs that cause the slip. Practical takeaway: measure adherence for each major call block, example, talent, camera/lighting, audio, location, crew, so you can stop blaming the day. Ask yourself, where did the first consistent lateness show up: before first setup, mid-morning, or near the big reset? Number 2. Turnaround speed shows how fast you clear decisions. Turnaround speed measures how quickly you move from decision made to crew ready. You'll feel this as time between an edit, a wardrobe change, a location adjustment, or a talent movement, and the moment the set can actually roll. Why this matters: late call times and slow turnaround speed look similar to everyone watching the schedule. But they require different fixes. If people arrive late, you manage access and readiness. If people arrive on time but can't start, you manage the decision to action pipeline, call updates, prop/wardrobe handoffs, camera resets, location paperwork, and internal approvals. Practical takeaway: track turnaround time per change type, for example, wardrobe, prop, location, talent blocking. Ask yourself, when the day stalls, what kind of stall is it: waiting on people, or waiting on the change to become real? Number 3. Change impact tells you what each change costs. Change impact measures how much one change disrupts the next steps. You can't stop changes in production. You can stop them from becoming a hidden tax that piles up. Why this matters: some changes have a small footprint: swap one prop for another that already exists on set. Others create a cascade: new look requires wardrobe build, which needs a fitting, which needs HMU time, which pushes camera prep. Change impact helps you catch the cascade early so you can steer the change to a cheaper path. Practical takeaway: for each meaningful change, record what it touched, departments involved, how many call updates it triggered, and how much schedule movement followed. Ask yourself, did this change only affect the next setup, or did it ripple into later blocks? Number 4. Review together so you find the real cause. Call time adherence, turnaround speed, and change impact each tell you a different story. Together, they tell you what kind of schedule failure you're dealing with. If call time adherence drops but turnaround speed stays steady, your problem starts at access and readiness. If call time adherence holds but turnaround speed drops, your problem starts in approvals, updates, or resource handoffs. If both hold but change impact jumps, your problem starts in how changes get made and communicated. Practical takeaway: you don't need perfection. You need consistency. Measure the same way every day and review the same time every day. A practical walkthrough: measuring Grace's O3 performance set on a reality competition day. Grace runs a day where the schedule can change between takes, talent moves rooms, wardrobe gets swapped, and a location detail gets clarified after lunch. Here's a walkthrough you can copy. Step 1. Set your measurement windows before you start tracking. Pick one start point and one ready point for each metric. Use the call sheet and the set workflow you already follow. Call time adherence start point, the printed call time, or the posted call time update, if you use those. Call time adherence ready point, the time the department reports ready to work, or rolling, if that's how your set tracks it. Turnaround speed start point, the time a change gets confirmed, example, producer decision, wardrobe swap approved, Location access confirmed, turnaround speed ready point. The time the first crew member starts setup for the next take/block, change impact start point. The moment you log the change impact ready point. The end of the immediate disruption, when you reach the next stable rhythm block. Expected result, you avoid arguing about what counts later. Your crew gets consistent expectations because you use the same definitions every day. Step 2. Track call time adherence by block, not by chaos. Grace marks call time adherence for 3 blocks on her call sheet. Talent, including anyone who must arrive for blocking, camera/lighting. The crew that can't do anything until prep is ready. Location access crew, the group that can stall the entire setup for each block. Grace records scheduled call time, actual ready to work time, whether she hit the tolerance window. Use your own tolerance. Many teams use a small window like within 10 minutes because anything beyond that creates a real knock-on effect. Expected result, instead of everyone was late. Grace learns exactly which block consistently misses first. Step 3. Track turnaround speed with a simple change to ready clock. Grace doesn't time every micro adjustment. She times the changes that actually stop the schedule. Pick common reality day change triggers: wardrobe swap, talent look change, prop swap, replacement or missing item, location access, door opens, power confirmed, set dressed enough, blocking adjustment, new position requires reset. When a change gets confirmed, Grace writes the time. When the crew begins the setup for the next take/block, Grace writes the time again and subtracts. Example numbers from Grace's day: wardrobe swap confirmed at 10:42, camera start setup at 11 o'clock, turnaround speed for that change type 18 minutes. Expected result, Grace can see whether delays come from slow updates, paperwork, or slow execution, department readiness. Step 4. Measure change impact as what else got pulled for each meaningful change. Grace logs departments touched. Example: wardrobe plus HMU plus camera plus AD. How many call updates it required. Example: 1 email/call sheet update versus multiple. What schedule block got pushed. Example: it moved the next setup by 1 block, or it pushed into the next segment. She keeps it practical. If the change stays inside the same block and doesn't trigger new updates, she tags it as contained. If it forces new updates or moves multiple blocks, she tags it as rippling. Expected result, Grace stops treating every change as the same thing. She can point to the change that caused the cascade. Step 5. Review at the same rhythm moment. Grace does a quick check at 2 times, midday after the first major reset, end of day after the last wrap. She asks 3 questions in order. 1. Did call time adherence miss early today, or only later? 2. Where did turnaround speed slow down, wardrobe, props, location, or blocking? 3. Which change caused ripple effects into later blocks? Expected result, she doesn't just collect data. She turns it into decisions for tomorrow's workflow. Before versus after, Grace's day simplified. Area 4, common pattern. After 03 measurement reveals the real driver. Vertical bar, vertical bar, vertical bar, vertical bar. Call time adherence. Talent always seems late. Talent hits call time. Location access misses first. Turnaround speed. Resets take forever. Wardrobe swaps take 18 to 25 minutes due to update delays. Change impact. Changes are constant. 1 wardrobe change rippled into 2 later blocks. Step 6. Use 03 to choose 1 fix, not 10. Once Grace identifies the driver, she picks 1 fix for the next day. Example: if location access misses first, she tightens the location access checklist and confirms access earlier. If wardrobe swaps slow turnaround, she improves the wardrobe change handoff, who confirms, who updates, and when HMU releases talent. If change impact ripples, she uses a change containment rule for certain categories. Example: don't greenlight a wardrobe swap that requires a new garment unless the next block can absorb it. Expected result: tomorrow doesn't become another round of try harder. It becomes one measurable workflow improvement. Practical takeaway, reflection prompt: ask yourself, can I point to today's biggest delay in 1 sentence using 03, call time, turnaround, or change impact? Troubleshooting: when your 03 metrics don't match what you feel, you'll know you're using 03 correctly when your gut and your numbers stop arguing. Here are 3 common failure patterns and how to fix them. Problem: call time adherence looks fine, but the day still falls behind. Why it happens: your crew might show up on time, but you don't convert decisions into crew ready quickly. This shows up as slow turnaround speed, often from late confirmations, unclear ownership, or delayed call updates. For example, Grace might hear wardrobe change from production, but wardrobe doesn't get the confirmed details until after the reset already started. Fix: start timing only the changes that stop setup, and track turnaround speed by change type for 1 week. Create 1 change confirmation rule: 1 person confirms details, and that confirmation triggers the next action immediately. Update call sheet, notify wardrobe, unlock location access, end each reset with a quick check: what's the next confirmed change, and who owns the ready moment? Practical takeaway: if call time stays steady, stop blaming lateness. Chase turnaround speed and tighten the decision to action handoff. Problem: call time adherence drops for one department, and everything after it looks chaotic. Why it happens: access and readiness issues hit first. Maybe drivers arrive late, location access doesn't clear, or department heads show up but can't get into the workspace. Grace can misread this as people aren't committed when the real issue is a missing unlock, missing credential, or an incomplete setup that prevents readiness. Fix: break call time adherence into blocks like talent, camera/lighting, and location access. For the department that slips, track the first failure point: missed arrival, arrived but not ready, or ready but waiting on access. Put one checklist item on your desk for that department and verify it before the first setup. Example: location keys/credentials confirmed, staging area cleared, power access confirmed. Practical takeaway: when one block misses, don't broaden the blame. Narrow the definition until you can name the exact failure point. Problem: turnaround speed stays decent, but change impact keeps rippling into later blocks. Why it happens: you approve changes that look small in the moment but force multiple departments into rework. That rework doesn't always show up as slow turnaround on the immediate change, it shows up later when the next setups get shuffled. In Grace's world, a minor wardrobe swap can trigger HMU prep, continuity adjustments, and prop replacement, which then steals time from the next segment. Fix: for each major change, log what it touches, departments involved and how many future blocks it threatens. Use a simple containment rule: if a change touches more than 2 departments or triggers a second call update, you treat it as rippling until proven contained. Add one pre-approval question before you greenlight the change: what's the earliest block that can absorb this without shifting later segments? Practical takeaway: if turnaround speed feels fine but the day still drifts, stop measuring speed alone. Measure ripple. Closing thought: use O3 to run the day, not just report it. When you track call time adherence, turnaround speed, and change impact together, you stop guessing. You start choosing fixes that match the failure type instead of throwing effort at the loudest problem. Grace's biggest win wasn't collecting metrics. It was realizing that the day doesn't break in one place. It breaks in one of 3 ways: people miss the call, decisions take too long to become real, or changes create ripple effects. Once you can name which one you're dealing with, you can tighten the workflow the crew actually feels. O3 Performance Set Daily Checklist: use this before you clock out. I measured call time adherence for talent, camera/lighting, and location access using the same ready-to-work definition. I recorded turnaround speed for the change types that actually stopped setup: wardrobe, props, location access, blocking. I logged each meaningful change and tagged it as contained or rippling based on department touch and schedule ripple. I reviewed O3 at midday and end of day and wrote one sentence: today's biggest delay came from call time, turnaround, change impact. I picked one workflow fix for tomorrow that targets the driver I named. Not a generic be faster note.